2 weeks, you've done over $22,000 in submits, and you've been going to the gym in the morning the last 2 weeks. So that's awesome, dude. And I know that obviously we're in a phase right now where we want our new contracts and we want these everything to be settled in. But truthfully, in these uncomfortable times is when we can really take a step forward or we can take a step back. And that's one thing that I actually was told today, was that I'm too comfortable right now. I've been way too comfortable, and we need to stretch ourselves, not just me, but all of us. We need to stretch ourselves to take the right step in the right direction and not go backward. So the last couple of weeks, Alex, or I should say the month of July, you started to invest into our EverQuote campaign. Is that right?
Yeah, every month. Last month of July, I bought EverQuotes every week.
Okay, and so you spent about $1,600, right?
Correct.
Now, what we'll hear from a lot of agents is, man, these leads, there's every excuse in the book about the leads, right? Realistically, when you're getting those orders every single week, on average, would you say how many leads are you actually getting in a week?
I'd say anywhere from like 103 to about 108 a week. I'm getting about a week. Yeah.
Awesome. And then out of those leads, like out of that amount of leads, typically, how many live transfers are you getting in a week?
I would say on average from like 3 to 7.
3 to 7.
Yeah, 3 live transfers realistically.
And when those transfers come in, I mean, they're hot, right? I mean, the person, the person, you guys got to understand, the person filled out the form, had a stranger call them, verify their information, and then was asked if they want to speak to a licensed agent, and they have to say yes for you to get that transfer. So that's about the hottest lead that you could possibly ever speak to, because they filled out the form, they verified their information, said, yes, I want to talk to a licensed agent. So it's like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball coming right down the middle. Like, you got a great shot at really helping that family and setting them up for success. So 3 to 7 transfers a week. Now, out of those 100 some leads that you're getting, typically, how many would you say that you're actually closing?
I would say closing, or I mean like closing good business practice, I would say roughly about 100, closing anywhere from 2 to 4.
2 to 4.
2 to 4 average, yeah.
And I want you guys to hear that, so you guys have the correct expectations on these leads. You're not going to close 10. You're not going to close 15. You're not going to close 20 of them. You're looking to close the 2 to 5 that you get a hold of. And really, when you think about it, you spent $400 to get that many leads. And then if you sell 2 of them, you're already in the profit margin, right?
Exactly.
So now if you sell 3, if you sell 4, if you sell 5, that's just pure profit into your business. And I would imagine out of those leads, the following weeks, Alex, you're getting some follow-up sales too, correct?
Correct. Yeah, all month. I mean, I dialed all those leads, and I still have follow-ups. I'm still working, and I've just got into my old batch of dialing leads, and I have a follow-up later from an EverQuote.
And are you utilizing Ringy as well?
Yeah, those are dripping on it 24/7. I get responses on them. I get a whole mixture. I mean, you're not specifically final expense or mortgage protection. You're getting 1 or 2, but you're getting a good influx amount of leads with the drip.
And that's the power of Ringy, guys, is you're literally squeezing those 100 leads to try to get 1 or 2 or 3 more sales out of that batch of leads. So then that way you're just increasing your ROI, and it pays for Ringy's monthly subscription by using the tools that it actually provides to the agent. So that's awesome, man. So over the month of July, you primarily ran the EverQuote leads. Now, what I will say is everyone has their first impression on the leads. Mar is a prime example. I remember how poorly she talked about the EverQuote leads, but when she changed up her mindset, now she'll rave about them. Was that a similar experience for you as well?
To be honest, what got me into dialing was Beto. Beto was dialing, and he kept telling me his numbers. I'm like, man. I was like, you know what? Like, I just, from a profitable standpoint, I've ran high intent leads, and I've ran these. It's just, to me, I just think it's how you approach it and know what your lead is, what kind of lead you're dialing. And I mean, I've just changed my approach all last month. Like, you know what? These are solid leads. I just got to believe in what I'm dialing. These people actually filled this request out, which you should. And that's just been my night and day difference with these people. I just believe that's who they are.
So that change was more mental than anything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's the power of your mind in this business, guys, is the way you approach the lead, the way you think about the lead is typically the results that you're going to get from the lead. And so can you kind of just give us a quick little intro or how you speak to these leads? I mean, mainly when you're making contact with them, are they coming from a text message and then having you call them, or are you outbound dialing them, or like what has that kind of been like for you? And can you kind of just give us an introduction to the call so agents can hear?
It's been like a mixture, Gage. Like it's been live transfers, it's been through text. I call them right away, and then if I get a text through a call, it's super excited, like, hey, like, you know, I'm your guy, like. And then when I call and outbound them, I always start with, hey, I'm Alex, like, how you doing today? And I smile personally when I do that, because I feel like they can feel that through the phone. And when they do that, a lot of them just say, well, I'm good. And I always go, you know, after that's about 90% of the response, I say, well, you know, hopefully after this call, you know, I can make it a little bit better. And I throw a little laugh in there because I just want to get them comfortable and relaxed. I know that if I can get them just to buy Alex, I'm going to be able to get them to hear me out for the next 60 to 120 seconds on that call. So I'm basically selling myself in the beginning.
Dude, amen to that. You said two very important things. One, you're dialing and smiling. Dialing and smiling matters. As crazy as it sounds, that tonality when you smile and you speak is a lot different than that tonality if you were just monotone or just, you know, blank faced or upset because you just got hung up on. Like that really does matter. The second thing that you said that I think was really important is that you were trying to sell them on Alex. And that was the biggest takeaway I got from Ed Milet, who we heard over 8% Nation last weekend. He said, you're selling happiness, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. You're selling happiness and love. He gave an example of McDonald's. McDonald's is selling happiness and love. Their mascot is a clown smiling. Like, just think about that, guys. Like, whatever business that you're in, if you can sell happiness and love, they're gonna buy you. They're not gonna buy the product. They're not gonna buy the system. They're really buying you. So I love that you shared that, man, because that was a point that I actually want to bring up as one of the key takeaways that I got from 8% Nation was that Ed Milet said that you're selling happiness and love.